So before I get to the demo, so I thought before that, before we get into, we need to finish off where Anup had left. Anup had shown you the crypto token, which was having the digital signature certificate and the certifying authorities. Now, what is the role of CCA? Morning, with the inauguration session, we had Arvind Kumar sir, CCA, Controller of Certifying Authorities. So what is their functions of CCA in regulating the CA? That is the objective of this particular session. So basically, don't look into the big English sentences which has been written here. I'll just try to simplify it. Thing is that this digital signatures, if you do, they are legally valid in India. So whatever Anup had shown demonstrations in the morning, it's a legally valid document. Okay, you can take it to the court and actually it can be provided or produced as an evidence. So that is a scenario. Even now also, ourselves also, whatever demonstrations I'm going to say, it will be legally valid. So how this legality came into picture? The legality was possible because of the Indian IT Act, which was introduced in the year 2000. It was actually came into existence in November 2000. So from that point onwards, actually, since it was having a legal backup and provisioning, it has become legally valid. Let me tell you, very few countries provide digital signature for the common man or common citizen to digitally sign documents. So this is one of the ways in which we can actually have a legally valid digital signature signed document. That is number one. Second thing is, as Anup would have shown you the hierarchical structure, every digital signed document will be having, you are getting actually from a certifying authority, and the certifying authority is actually authorized by controller of CCA, that is the red one, controller of certifying authority. They are actually signizing it. So what they do is they operate a set of mechanisms. They have their own private key and public key, and they digitally sign for others. So this is what actually is happening. So now, you may think that this is actually only pertaining to India. Actually, this has been proposed, this Indian IT Act actually has been proposed as a model in United Nations. So United Nations had something called as a UN Citral law, based on which the Indian IT Act was actually initially proposed in the year 2000. Of course, it has gone several revisions now, so that is a different thing. But UN Citral law has given a model law for the countries of the world to adopt digital signature transactions and electronic transactions. So that is what they had actually given. So India's modifications in those things and had adopted it. And in that, two basic functions of a signature also has been proposed. One is whoever signs, that particular person has to be identified somehow. So that is the author of the document. And second one is basically to confirm that author has really signed the document or not. It should not be faked or forged, whatever it is. So these are the two important criteria which was actually done. So these are the countries which had enacted their IT acts based on the UN Citral law. Of course, US also has its own law from the year 1999. So India was one of the countries which acted quickly in the year 2000 itself for this particular law. So, of course, e-sign was not there in the initial scenario, but later, of course, came into mature feature. That is the thing. So, this is about the law per se. So, this is, we are now only going to talk about the certifying authorities in the law, what has been specified. There are certain sections, 17, 18, 18B, 24, 25, 26. Suppose somebody wants to operate as a CA. So they can actually get a license. So UP government actually department wants to act as a certifying authority. They can apply for a license to the CCA by using through the section, which has been provisioned through section number 24. And then they can get a license and they can operate as a certifying authority. That is very much possible. So like that, there are multiple sections of dealing with private key, dealing with the digital signature tokens, certificates. And there are also what are the offenses or the penal sections which are available for any crimes which has been done in cybercrime. So that is also there. So these are the important sections which are available in the Indian IT Act. So this is more about the thing. This I will not get into it. But what is PKI? PKI, as actually you can see that it's multiple things. It's not only cryptography programs and cryptography algorithms, applications, implementation standards, policy and laws, everything is there. So PKI is the thing. So there are multiple things. PKI actually, token providers, manufacturer is one of the player, application developer is one of the player, auditors are one of the players, licensed certifying authorities are the player, and the consultants are there, legal experts are there, software developers are there. All these people only come together and make this PKI ecosystem. It's not a single person. PKI is not actually, you cannot refer to a single person or single entity. All these person work together to assure you the maximum things possible. So this is the thing which is actually there. So digital signature certificate is a very important tool that we have. Whatever that we are having in our crypto token, digital signature certificate, that is the important thing, which is having your digital, which provides you identity for you. So when you digitally sign a document, it is legally valid. And it is on par or maybe greater than on par with the digital signatures which is there. So the CA and the CCA, you can see the thing. CCA will give only license and the other functions to the certifying authorities, while actually CA only provides the certificates, DSCs to the subscribers. So as a end user or a subscriber, I approach the CA, not the CCA directly. So I go to any of the certifying authorities, I ask them to issue a digital signature certificate based on my documents which I submit, and they give me that. While CCA actually issues the certificate to the CA. So that's what actually happens. So CCA, what it does is, whenever a CA is joining, they will audit them. They will verify all their operations are as per the Indian IT Act, and operations, systems, functions, they monitor them. And they also certify their public keys and look into all those things. So this is how they look into it. So these are the continuation of the responsibilities which the CCA has actually been doing. So as you can see that majorly CCA is concerned with their own key operations, which is called Root Certifying Authority of India, RCA operations, followed by licensing of CAs and regulations, and then followed by developing indigenous technology for CCA ecosystem, where we are actually working on post-quantum cryptography and our own indigenous systems and technologies. And then Web Trust is another activity which has actually been initiated. And of course, promotion. This is one of the program for promotion which is actually there. And then finally, we also have a licensing of regulations for DigiLocker and all those things available. So a CA performs the following functions, because once you apply, you have to apply with your Aadhaar card or voter ID or PAN card, and then you submit the proof, and then you get the digital signature certificate, and then you basically get a certificate attested and made available to you. And if there is any revocation of the certificate, that will be uploaded into the CRL and things like that. So this keeps going on. So this is a process. So if somebody wants to be a want to become a licensing certifying authority, the CCA will receive those applications, and then they will scrutinize that applications based on their documents. And if there is any discrepancies are there in the documents, that they will be reported, and then they will look at they will look at whether the infrastructure, whether the certifying authority is having an infrastructure, required infrastructure. And for that, the auditor services will be taken up, meaning will be sought for. So auditor will come up with observations and all those things. So once that is completed, then the certificate will be issued to the certifying authority after this thing. So then afterward, that point onwards, they become the certifying authority. So this is the thing. So basically, in principle, license is being granted, and a paper-based license also is given as a demonstration. So that is how it is like that. So currently, this is our trust hierarchy. As you can see, as subscribers at the bottom part, we get a certificate from the sub-CAs, and sub-CAs get certificate from intermediary CAs. Intermediary CAs get certificate from CCA India. So this is the thing. The same structure is there in case of e-sign also. Okay, so this is how it looks like. And sub-CA will have multiple persons to verify your identity. So that role is performed by a registration authority. So the registration authority will check and give your tokens, distribute the tokens, and verify whether your identity is correct or not, all those things. So they will take care of the logistics part as well as the verification part. So this actually talks about how your how your private key is being safeguarded through PIN and password and all those things. And also, if you're talking about e-sign, whether you're talking about OTP, PIN, password, what is the factors which are used for verification. So that is being told about. So this is how actually it looks like, a certificate and trust chain. So you can see Anoop's certificate, he has got it from eMudra sub CA, and which has been taken from eMudra CA, and then it goes up to CCA India certificate. And if the certificate has been revoked, then actually it goes to the CRL distribution point. That is also been mentioned here in this list. So this is about the certification list. And how do you verify? Because before whatever document you receive, you also have to always check for OCSP. So you have to see whether the certificate has been revoked or not. So this is one of the things that you do in that. Then let us look at e-sign. So e-sign is basically, as Anoop has mentioned, when you don't have a crypto token with you and you want to digitally sign document, this is the best option which is available to you. And not only that, whenever you are going to sign once in a while, maybe not on a daily basis, you are actually an end user. So then also this is a very good option for you. So basically, say for example, in income tax filing or any other thing, e-sign is actually being applied. So what happens is they ask you to digitally sign a document, and then they give it to a e-sign service provider. E-sign service provider will ask you for your identity first, because your identity is the central point for giving you a DSC. So once you give your identity, that identity verification is done through Aadhaar, because that also happens online. So that is a great achievement actually, because you are able to put up a digitally signed, legally valid document without using any other device other than your laptop or desktop or a mobile phone. You are not using any crypto token or anything. So that's a great thing. Actually, this kind of facility is not there in most of the countries. So this is a very unique thing and important thing which has actually happened in India. So this is e-sign is a service which is available. So you can digitally sign documents without a dongle. So that is a thing. And this is actually valid, fully valid as per the Indian IT Act. The provisions had been for e-sign has been added later. So these are some journey of the Office of CCA from where they started. 2002, they started their operations, and now there are 20 plus certifying authorities are there. I think newly number of CS are also added into that, and 4 crore plus digital signature tokens has been issued, certificates has been issued, and e-sign people have done more than 35 crore e-signatures had already happened. And nowadays authentication of the person is not done physically. Previously used to go physically, submit documents and all. Now all those things are done. Now actually eKYC mode is made actually. And regulations for foreign CA, meaning recognizing a certifying authority from another country, is also in progress, and web trust is also actually getting in progress. So these are some of the applications ranging from government, telecom, e-commerce, banking and judicial, where digital signatures and e-sign are being used. So these are some of the statistics. As you can see that more than 35 crore e-sign has happened, and 4 crore digital signature tokens has been distributed. So this is the part, and you can see that 20 licensed certifying authorities are there. There are e-sign service provider also there who only deal with e-sign. So for example, C-DAC is there. C-DAC actually only provides e-sign. They are not into DSC provision. So you can see that these are the 20 people. What are the services they are offering, and where is their main site, DR site, and what is the CA name, and all those things is available. So these are the licensed CAs who are operating in different parts of the country in India. So as you can see that the number of licensed CAs are also increased. So what is objective, goal, target, everything is there. So future they are actually working out for a web trust, where your browser also will recognize your certificate, and common root will be established, e-sign will be done. So this is another thing which will actually look into it. So so this is the main part from the office of CCA. So now let me just take you through the e-sign part. So here what happens in e-sign, let me just okay. So when you are giving a e-sign, that is basically when you are digitally signing, there are two major challenges which are there. One is how do you verify that a user is the claimed person? Suppose if I am claiming myself as Virat Kohli, then how do you know that I am actually sitting behind a system? How do you know that I am not Virat Kohli? So you have to ask me for some proof. Maybe I can take some photograph of Virat Kohli and show that I am Virat Kohli. So that is another challenge. So for all overcoming all these things, we thankfully have an Aadhaar eKYC system, where all your data is, meaning other data, meaning they use the Aadhaar ecosystem for validating the user. So this is actually being done, actually, authentication of the user. And then this provides a trusted method for e-signing. And this was introduced, e-sign was legally valid from the year 2015, that is January 2015. And this was a method which provides that thing. So then, so this provides, Indian IT Act 2000 actually provides a legal recognition to records which are maintaining in IT electronic form. And it also prescribes the methods for doing digital signing. So now if you look at the way in which the things are operating, so as a end user, like let us take myself as an end user, I go to the income tax website, okay? So that income tax website is called as the ASP here, Application Service Provider. Now that income tax website, what he will do is, he will, whenever I have to digitally sign that my submission, they will connect me with the e-sign service provider. They will connect me with the e-sign service provider. That can be eMudra, C-DAC or other parties. So now e-sign service provider will again get in touch with the Aadhaar ecosystem to find out whether what is my identity. So if I say that my identity I am Balaji, so I am really Balaji or not, that verification will be done by Aadhaar. If Aadhaar says that yes, this particular person is really whom he claims to be, that is, he is Balaji, then yes, he is really Balaji. Then the ESP will further send the information back to the certifying authorities, who will create your own, create a private key for you securely in their hardware servers, HSM servers, and then the public key also, obviously, and then based on the public key, they will issue a temporary digital signature certificate, which will be valid for 1 hour. So that digital signature certificate can be used for digital signing of documents. So now what will happen is, whatever the content, now the income tax website, now let us come back to the income tax website, that is ASP. He will provide meaning Anup would have shown you about creating a hash of the file which he has to be digitally signed. So that hash will be going to the certifying authority. So we will encrypt using whatever the private key which is there, and then the signature will come out, and then digital signature will be shared with you. So this is the process which is actually happening. So now what we will do is, we will just show this with a small example here, illustration. So this is, so this is digilocker.gov.in. So if I go there, I can actually digitally sign my documents. So what I am going to do is, I am going to create sign in. Sorry, I just open my. Okay, so DigiLocker is here. Let me sign in. So actually, I can log in into my account using my mobile username or Aadhaar, whatever it is. I have to register first of all. So I will use my mobile number for logging in. Okay, so I also have a 6-digit PIN for myself. Sorry, something. Yeah, I have, my connection is poor, but I have logged in. So this is the thing. So I have my Aadhaar card and my PAN verification and all those things done. So I will go to Drive here, and right now I do not have any file. So what I will do is I will try to create one small file, test document or something. Okay, so this is the test document. Just nothing is there in this document, just I have created a sample program, sample PDF file, test document. Now I will upload this particular file here. Let me go to document. Okay, first let me delete this. So upload, let me upload the file here. Test document. So my document has actually been uploaded. Now let me e-sign this document. Okay, so this is what I am going to do. So I'm going to e-sign this document. So while e-sign, what happens is my identity has to be proven. So for that, Aadhaar services are being used. So now I have to give my Aadhaar number, okay, so which I will give here. So then I will ask for Aadhaar OTP, which should come to my phone. Okay, it says Aadhaar has come to my phone. Yes. So now, meaning here I am saying that I do not have any objection in authenticating myself with Aadhaar PKYC system, Aadhaar-based authentication system. So that I am giving my consent here. So now my OTP has come. So I have submitted it. Now let us see what happens here. So you can see that right now C-DAC is the e-sign service provider for e-sign service. So that is the thing which is actually happening. There's a bit, it's a bit slow, but anyway, I got the document now digitally signed. So now let me download this document and see. So let me download to desktop. Yeah, this is the one which we have got. Let me just open in Adobe PDF. So you can see here that the document has been digitally signed. So you can see how you can see here digitally signed by Balaji Rajendran, and date, that is today's date, 27th March 2024 at 3:07 p.m. So this is the thing which has been there. Now you can see here also certified by Balaji Rajendran, which is a personal certificate issued by C-DAC sub-CA for eKYC. Basically this is the electronic KYC form which was done. So now let me open this document. Let me see this signature. Okay, show signature properties. So here you can see the document is valid. This was signed by Balaji Rajendran, signed at 27th March at this time zone, 5 or 30 minutes, etc. And then the signing time is from the clock on the signer's computer. All those things are being told. So now you can see the certificate pattern which is actually there. So Balaji Rajendran has a certificate issued by C-DAC sub CA. So this is C-DAC sub CA is what was issued my certificate to me. And the validity of the certificate is only half an hour. That is, it is valid from 15 hours 7 minutes to 15 hour 37 minutes. So 30 minutes is the validity for this particular certificate. So that is, after that the certificate will get expired, but my digital signature is there. Digital signature will not expire. So digital signature is fully valid. Once signed, it is forever. Okay, only the certificate will automatically expire, so that I do not sign using the same certificate after and after that. So this is the thing. So then after that, you can see some details of my certificate and all signature algorithms, and what is the public key. This is my public key and all those things. So this is available. And then further, the selected certificate is valid because there is nothing put up in the certificate revocation list, etc. And the CRL was digitally signed by C-DAC sub CA, and all those things has been told. So trust is also there, and policies, legal notice, all those things. Now if you look at C-DAC sub CA certificate, if you look at their summary, so they have a certificate from till valid for 10 years, till 2034, and this is where their certificate is, and you can look at their details, their CRL points, and then their digital signature, their public key. So this is actually there. And then further, their CR also you can see. Okay, so that is how it looks like. And then finally, if you look at C-DAC CEA 2022, there also you can actually see for 10 years validity, that is 2022 to 32. So this is there for 10 years, and where they have the position for signing CRL and sign certificates, etc. So this is how it looks like. Then finally, CCA India root certificate is there, where you have validity from 20 years validity is there for that. And then this is this thing, there's serial number and their public key. So this is 4096 bit, there's slightly bigger public key than other people. So this is how it is, trust and all those things are there. So the complete hierarchy is there. So this is a perfectly legally valid digitally signed document. So this is the digital signed document which is legally valid, which is actually been there. So this is the part. So this is how it looks like. You can digitally sign documents, and you can see the signature panel also here, and you can look into it, signature detail and all those things. Everything, the identity is, signer's identity is valid, signer's time is from, signature is, all those things actually look into it. So all those things are there. You can see the green tick and everything. So this is how it looks like. Now coming back to our presentation. So this way I can digitally sign documents without using any crypto token or anything. Just I need to have my Aadhaar number and mobile number, because not mobile number, mobile, because mobile is where my OTP comes. So that is where the validity actually comes into it. So if that is there, then I will be able to digitally sign documents. So now going forward, so I can see that if e-sign, meaning number of people can actually say, for example, I am applying for anything, let us say birth certificate, marriage certificate, I can actually use these services for digitally signing and doing it. And NIC's e-office, Paro, everyone actually uses this e-sign service. C-DAC is one of the e-sign service providers. Of course, we use the services of both UIDI, that is Aadhaar, for verifying the user's identity, and CCA for issuing the certificate, for the process and the certificate. So why e-sign is required? Because it can totally, it's a paperless office. On the fly digital signing is there. Aadhaar based authentication is given. So digital signing can be performed in both the ways, that is dongle based DSE, what Mr. Anup was demonstrating. And then API based service, which is basically e-sign. So that is what anytime, anywhere. So wherever you are, as long as your phone and phone is active, mobile phone is active with and which can receive SMS, you will be able to digitally sign any document using Aadhaar. So this, as far as e-sign is concerned, C-DAC has a product called e-Hastakshar. Okay, so e-Hastakshar is the solution for electronic signing on the online without the dongle. So we interact with the application service provider and also with UIDAI and CCA for doing the operations. So this is our architecture diagram where the e-sign service provider comes into picture, which is this central block is what the C-DAC services are there. So as you can see in this diagram, this is a complete flow where application service provider can be anybody. I just told you the example of income tax thing. You can talk about bank account opening. You can actually talk about digital signing, signature application opening. So many services, birth certificate application, or any application can be actually provider can take it up and provide this e-sign service serving for you. So first thing what happens is the e-sign service provider will request Aadhaar. They will first request Aadhaar to verify who you are. That is step number 1. So once your certificate verification is done successful, then second thing is your e-sign service provider will request the CA, meaning CA operations are different. So logically they are different. So the certifying authority will be asked to create a pair of keys for you because it has been proven that you are so and so person by Aadhaar. So now the certifying authority will create a pair of key, that is public key and private key, and private key will be kept inside the crypto token only, that is HSM. They have a bigger crypto token, which is not this thing. It is a kind of a meaning a server class system which is actually there. So inside the data center kind of thing. So this HSM will where private key users private key will be created and the public key will be taken and the certifying authority will issue the certificate, but the digital signature certificate is only valid for 30 minutes. So that is what actually is done. So then after that the certifying authority also signs the certificate, digitally signs the certificate saying that yes, this person has been obtained, and then gives that particular certificate back to this application, tells that application service provider this is the person's certificate. Now application service provider says the e-sign service provider to digitally sign the document. So how it does it do is it does not collect all the data. It does not say, for example, income tax, it does not pass what is your return or value or whatever it is. It simply creates a hash value and then only passes the cryptographic hash value to the e-sign service provider. They do not pass the entire data of yours to them. Okay, they only pass the message digits and hash value to that. So that the hash value gets to the e-sign service provider. So then who actually requests the CA to, meaning the digitally sign that hash, and then the signature comes into picture. Then the signature is actually given back to the application service provider. Now the signature will be added with the document and kept by the ASP for records, and probably even the user can download the document and verify himself. So this is the thing. So this is the process. So user, actually a number of steps are there, a number of complicated things go behind the scenes, a number of interconnections happen within the UIDAI ecosystem and the CCA ecosystem, but and the keys are also generated and the keys are also destroyed within 30 minutes. After the keys have become, the certificate becomes invalid, the keys will be destroyed. So because there's no point in having this particular thing, so only for the validation of that particular moment in time it is done. So after that, digitally signed documents are already available with you or to the application service provider, and then you go on. So this is the role, how the API and the development happens from the e-sign application service provider to e-sign service provider to certifying authority, and then finally comes into it. So there are currently 2 different versions of e-sign, which is version number 2.1 and 3.0. So 2.1 basically uses eKYC for online authentication. That is, whatever I did right now is basically online authentication, and eKYC was used. Because without internet, I will not be able to have been signing it. And input from the application service provider will come as hash, the signer constant, and metadata. And the signer will be redirected from the income tax web page or DigiLocker page to e-sign service provider. So that is what actually was happening. And only one document will be able to sign in a given request, and Aadhaar ID and authentication data are captured at the e-sign service provider. Now, if you look at e-sign service provider, meaning e-sign service in 3.0, which is another one, so you can do e-sign using offline authentication also. You need not be fully connected to internet. So that is another provision which has actually been enabled. So, so what happens is the services of RA, that is the registration authority, who verify your identity, will be requested to register themselves as C-DAC ESP. And this point you don't have to connect to Aadhaar ecosystem. So what will happen is the rest of the things are same. The data from the application service provider will come with the document hash, signer ID, sign consent, and metadata. And signer will be redirected from ASP to ESP meta page. But another additional thing is you can sign up to 5 documents in a given request. So that is possible. So this is the thing. And these are some of the sample digitally signed e-sign documents. So this is, you can see that how it happens in e-office, APAR, and some government, actually you can see the postmortem report or legal report for health services in Madhya Pradesh. So basically government of Andhra Pradesh, how they have implemented. Many governments and banks and public sector banks are also have implemented. Of course, private sector banks also have implemented these particular services. So e-sign actually is getting more and more into different areas: education, training, financial sector, road and transport, e-governance, passport, various certificates and parliament offices. Everything it is actually being used. So this is about the one small slide from C-DAC, which is basically the e-sign online digital certificate service, where more than 1 crore signatures has been applied, and these services can be applied by ess@cdac.in. So this is one of the things which can be done. So thanks for your patient listening. If there are any questions, I'll be willing to take up. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thanks. And sometimes in here also there is a charge. At least 2 rupees or 1 rupee charge is there for e-sign. Meaning you do not have to pay. For every signature, somebody has to pay for that. Income tax means income tax has to pay 1 rupee for your one sign or 2 rupee for the one sign. So that is the thing. DSC, what happens is you have the token with you and you keep on signing any number of documents. So you any number of documents you can sign as long as for the next 2 years you don't have to worry.
But DSC के साथ ड्रॉबैक है, उसके लिए हमको कैरी करना पड़ेगा एक USB लाइक जो वो है ना कि कैरी करनी पड़ती है ना, ई साइन में ज़रूरत नहीं है हमको।
ज़रूरत ई साइन
बेसिकली पेन ड्राइव या जो भी ई साइन जो है DSC में हम उसको यूज करते हैं, जहाँ भी जाएंगे कैरी करेंगे उसको। बट ई साइन में हमको जरूरत नहीं है ना कुछ भी कैरी करने की, वो OTP बेस्ड है, सिंपल
OTP based, but you have already you have to be online always.
Online.
e-sign newer version 3.0 version है, 3.0 3.0 version में you don't have to be online. Offline authentication is also possible. So that is it. Yeah, that depends on the application. If you are talking about income tax application, you have to be online. But if you are talking about any other application where I have my own, let us say our own APAR system or annual report review system, SPAR kind of things, there you can download the application and you can actually use it. So that is it. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.